The You Have One Day Challenge, Project Zomboid's very own impossible challenge. Placing you in the original prototype map, you are given 24 hours to prepare, gathering resources, exploring the map, and just generally psyching yourself up before a massive horde of zombies continues to spawn infinitely, eventually ending in your demise. I have decided to make it even worse. Using a combination of the Horde Night mod and a standalone version of the Knox County map, I have created a scenario in which every second day a horde will spawn, essentially repeating the concept of the challenge indefinitely. Every horde adding an additional 50 zombies to the pack that will need to be taken care of. My goal for this challenge is simple: survive 50 waves and make it to the coveted 100-day status. With overwhelming odds and a general sense of I'm going to need luck to make it through this one.
All right,
So,
and
if
hello
you
everyone.
like
Welcome
this concept
to
for a
the
series, make
You
sure to
Have
like,
One
favorite,
Day
share, and
Infinite
subscribe, and we'll get
Challenge.
right into it. We are on our prep day, so I'm going to start getting moving immediately. But if you saw the intro, which you should have seen the intro, then you know the concept is that this is the You Have One Day Challenge, but it repeats infinitely. And so the first thing we are immediately going to go do is put our chips in our bag, grab our baseball bat, grab our hammer, and make our way down to the hardware store so we can reinforce our house. I'm super excited for this challenge. When I saw how well the You Have One Day video performed, I was like, well, I gotta do this again. But I was thinking, how can I make this more interesting? And I love this concept I've came up with. But without further delay, we are going to speed run getting to the hardware store. In fact, we have a few things I want to do today. I want to get to the hardware store. I want to see about gathering bottles so that way we can. Oh! There's a saw already. That's amazing. Duct tape, we're going to need plenty of that. Box of nails, those will both come super in handy. Planks of wood. We're going to go ahead and take those. Rope, I'm sure we'll find use for it. This was a good shed. All right. Matter of fact, I'm going to actually run back to the house immediately, and we are going to put some preliminary boards on it. Empty bottle. We'll need those for making fire bombs. Because I have spawned as the one and only Bob Smith, an engineer with as many combat-related skills as I could physically shove onto him. Because that's the only thing that really matters, is the ability to properly utilize weapons in a challenge like this. So that's what I went for. Ooh, do you have a watch on you? There are still zombies that spawn outside of the initial horde. So we're going to just take this guy down real quick. Yeah! Classic wristwatch, that'll do. We started at 9 a.m., so we know roughly when the horde should start. Or we'll be able to figure out roughly when the horde should start. Alright, and immediately we're going to put some barricades up on this window. There we go. This is going to be the house I want to actually survive the challenge in long term. It just feels the most fitting to live out here. And since we have a hammer, I'm actually going to bash down the gate to the garden shed. Come on. Little more. You know you want to. Come on. Thank you. More duct tape. More planks. We'll use a couple of those as weapons, I feel like. Box of screws. Plenty of boxes of nails. barricade our little safe house. I just opened the window mid-barricading animation. That was pretty funny. Alright, now that we are done with that initial stage of prep, we are going to the hardware store for real this time. And we are here at the hardware store. It's got everything you would ever want. Most importantly, it has a crowbar. That's good. We're going to want one of those. Screwdriver should come in handy. A garden fork. That's an amazing find. We have got a hand axe. Now we can chop down trees. Going to go ahead and put on that foreman vest and those safety goggles. We got military boots. Those are good. You got any planks? Okay, well, wood glue and duct tape, those are going to be the lifeblood of this challenge after a while. Another hand axe. More planks. So go ahead and just take those. Yeah, considering we have such a limited area of map, we're going to need all of the repair resources we can honestly get. So all these rolls of duct tape are really good finds. Let's see, we got gardening supplies, welding supplies. And with our hand axe, we should be able to cut down the trees outside of our house. So we're going to make our way back there. Alright, we have made our way back there. Put these planks up on the window. Matter of fact, we can go ahead and put planks up on the front window now. Go ahead and toss our shoes on the ground. We are not going to need them. Matter of fact, why don't we actually have access to it as a resource? Where's our wood pile? Could have sworn we had a... Ah, right, it's duct tape where we actually have some stuff we need to consolidate here. Yep, consolidate all. There we are. And I am actually going to use our wood glue to reinforce our baseball bat and our starter hammer. There we go. Now all of our weapons are pretty good condition. So, next order of business, we need to chop down some trees. That way we can finish reinforcing the house with our prep day. Alright, go ahead and saw these logs. And if we find a knife, we will be able to make that tree branch into a spear. Spears might wind up being our end game weapon, as they'll be easily the most renewable weapon to make during prep day. I'm super duper excited for this challenge, though. This is going to be a fun time. It's going to be very action-packed on Horde Day. It's just going to be increasingly high amounts of them. It's just going to get more chaotic the longer we make it through this. But with the last couple planks on the window, we are nearly done. We just need to cut down one more tree. So, let's get to it. There we go. And with these final 4 planks, the Bob and Kate house has been successfully reinforced. So we're just going to go ahead and get those put up. And there we go. Now we have a safe house. Almost. What's a proper safe house without some curtains on the windows? Well, let's go find some. Yoo-hoo! Curtains! You got any in here? Ow! Ow! Oh, that's not good. Really? At least we got a digital watch out of it, but ow! Oh, at least we got what we came here for. They do, in fact, have curtains here. Man, that's just embarrassing to take damage like that early. Wow. A lot of stuff in the neighbor's house. We might wind up coming back here quite a few times later. I know the curtains aren't strictly necessary, but it's in the spirit of things. We are making a survival castle, essentially. We need somewhere we can live long term as this challenge gets increasingly difficult. So, breaking into the other neighbor's house here. Look at that, more curtains. And a really nice house layout as well. I like the big kitchen. That's super cool. But yeah, just gonna run these curtains back over to the fortress. And let's see here. We need 2 windows up here that need curtains. And then it is 1, 2. Oh, a duffel bag. That and a leather jacket too. Very nice. All right, that makes things a lot easier. Considering we're just going to be living like a turtle with our home on our back for a little while. Having a bigger bag to do that with is very helpful. Go ahead and put the school bag back in the cabinet where we found it. Put that spare hand axe in our backpack. Ripped sheets. And we're actually going to go ahead and fill up this water bottle. We're quite thirsty. Doesn't hurt to have multiple of those. Especially considering how scarce resources are going to be on this map. Five curtains. We need 5 curtains overall to finish the fortress. And then that will be a good conclusion to our prep day. Oh, and just in time, we are starting to get a little drowsy, which means that our prep day is rapidly coming to its end. But with 4 sheets, we just need 1 more. And it looks like we found it, along with a zombie who really just needs to stop. Got the keys to this place, too. Alright, thank you very much. Do you got any... Nope, you do not have any painkillers in your medicine cabinet. That's unfortunate, but nothing that sleeping it off shouldn't be able to handle. In the event that sleeping it off isn't going to help, we are going to need to find some painkillers, which means we're going to have to go exploring around the nearby neighborhood, but that's fine. It's honestly fine. We'll have some time before the actual horde shows up, which I am going to mark an hour before as when our alarm goes off. That way we're never caught with our pants down and our horde about to barrel down upon us and murder us and destroy everything we've ever loved. There are already curtains up here. That's good to know. That is good to know. There are painkillers in the bathroom. There are. Thank you. You know what? We still have a little bit of time. So before we go to bed, now that we have painkillers, can do that whenever, I am going to go grab a television from the nearby ruined apartment complex. Because this is still Project Zomboid, we are still going to want carpentry experience, the bare minimum. That's just always a good thing, no matter what game mode you're playing. Plus, this ruined apartment complex, super cool building. There's nothing like it on the vanilla map. Alright, and there we go. We have gotten ourselves a Value Tech television. And we're just going to make out like a bandit as we take this back to our own home. Ooh, welding supplies. Okay, that's good. We're coming back for that garage later. Because that when our wooden barricades inevitably are ripped to splinters, metal barricades are going to be the next best step. Just got to take this TV on over here. And there we go. We are now home once again. Go ahead and place the television down on this table and tune it to the only station that matters, Life and Living TV. Yeah! And it's teaching us how to fish, which is probably the least useful skill in a scenario like this where we are not going to have the time to go fishing. But it's fine. At least we know a little bit more of how to do it. Carpentry, though. Carpentry is, without a doubt, the more important scenario we need to learn. All right, and with going ahead and taking these painkillers, we are going to go to sleep. All right, we missed the cooking show, but cooking is like the least important skill anyway. We don't need to learn how to cook when our insides are never going to be ripped to shreds. We are still in a little bit of pain, and speaking of food, we actually are hungry, so we're going to want to take care of that by throwing a nice steak in the oven. Just oven roasted steak. That's what the doctor ordered. All right, and there we go. Our steak is now fully cooked, and we did not burn down the house. We have not achieved the canon ending for this property yet. But with that said, we are actually going to go do something rather important. This water bottle we found, yeah, we're going to get rid of it, and we're going to make it into a fire bomb. There's a very important reason why I picked engineer for this. Because the engineer is the only class in the game that can make fire bombs. We're going to need dirty rags for this, but those will be easy enough to find. I'm sure we'll be able to find a zombie to kill on the way. And here we are, the gas station. Do we need an additional empty bottle to actually make this recipe work? I mean, that's not that difficult to set up at all. So, that's fine actually. And now we just need the rags, which means we need to find a zombie who is willing to donate themselves for the cause. And fortunately, there should be one in the glorious Spiffos. Yep, there's a customer. Come here. And there we go. And we're just going to take all the rags off of them. We can make as many fire bombs as possible. Okay, how do we make fire bombs? We need 4 bottles of gas? I mean, let's try it. Let's drink an orange soda. Let's get another bottle of gas, and we'll see if that works. Did I put that back in the vending machine? Yes, I did. Because the way the recipe is worded, it might take 4 fire bombs. And now we need another empty bottle. Okay. Well, alright then. This is an awful lot of work for what's just basically a slightly better Molotov cocktail, but... Really? We can just make Molotov cocktails? I mean, that is good to know, but I put a lot of effort in this firebomb strategy. I'm going to make it work. Okay, I will be right back in a moment, everyone. Hello once again. I have figured out my mistake. You need to use specifically a blue bottle of water to make it work. So, looks like our main water bottle is going to be an orange soda bottle then. Go ahead and just pour that on the ground, because clearly we don't need those anymore. Oh, yeah, and I found out also the bottles of gasoline all need to be the same type, too. So, like, all orange soda bottles, or all glass bottles, it just, I'm not gonna lie, it's really cumbersome. But we'll get through it. Again, I'm determined to make this firebomb strategy work for us. So we're going to take this empty orange soda bottle back to the gas station. This feels like the most wasteful use of orange soda ever. That's not what I need. Wow, it really is going to cycle through everything but what I need, huh? That's... Thank you, Zomboid. Very cool. No, it's not like I was trying to choose the correct bottle to actually fill up or anything. It's a good thing we don't need this gas for anything else. Okay, now why is it saying we can actually make the firebomb? Okay, I'll take it. Ooh, before we do more firebombing though. What's in the box? Come on, come on. Oh, just an absolute ton of food. I mean, that's helpful. It's just not necessarily helpful right now. A very well stocked store, though. And breaking down the door wasn't even necessary. Whoops. That's gonna be my bad. Okay, so it has to be blue bottles to make fire bombs. Like, just it always has to be. All right. Well, if that's the case, we're just gonna make these glass ones into standard Molotovs. That's actually a better use for them. Okay, and that is good to know that you cannot use beer bottles for this purpose either. We need to go find another zombie to kill. So that way we can actually and effectively make just all of the explosives. My strategy for the later waves is just going to be tossing bombs and waiting it out. So that's the goal here. That's what we're trying to set up. Because after a while, I'm not convinced we'll have the time to come out here again without severe consequences happening to our life. So we are going to go ahead and track down a zombie. There is not a zombie in this cafe. They're like a zombie in this multi-use space. Looks like apartments maybe. No. I heard movement. All right, how do we get up to him? Ah, there we are. You'll do nicely. All right, so the glass bottles can be made into Molotov cocktails, and the plastic bottles are what we use for our fire bombs. So that's good. We have figured that out. And now that we have figured that out, we are going to make one more firebomb for the road. And we are going to head back home, and I will update you guys when the Horde is getting ready to arrive. All right, and we are back home. I'm going to drop all these fire bombs and Molotovs off in the kitchen. You know, where that's a good place for them. what cabinet are we going to put them in? Let's see, there's a bunch of canned goods in there. Yeah, we're gonna pick up all of the cooking supplies. This is now going to be our firebomb and Molotov cocktail cabinet. Delicious. And now we can put all of our cooking supplies, which we are probably not going to need, like, ever. The frying pan might be good as a weapon, at least. Now, we are tired, but I'm going to just take a quick power nap. We will wind up missing Life and Living. Go ahead and put the empty bottles and the dirty rags in that cabinet. There we go. 3 bottles of water, because I'm just not desperately convinced we'll have time otherwise to refill that. Horde Night, it's going to be quite the action-packed adventure. We're not really going to have time to dawdle around, as it turns out. But I'm going to set my alarm for 8:30. We are going to take a nap. All right, and it shouldn't be long before the Horde shows up. Matter of fact, if I had to guess, I'd probably say 9 o'clock is when we should expect them. Our swing speed is still a little slower than I'd like, but that's fine. Alright, got more rags. Those will be helpful for us later. Let's see. 9 o'clock, nothing. How about 10 o'clock? So there's going to be something then. 11. Alright, hold on. One moment. I've got to go check something again. Hello once again. So I figured out what the problem was. I bungled the settings. It's supposed to be that the Horde would show up on the second day, but I had it so it would show up on the third instead because I misread the tooltip. So, with that said, I'm actually going to go ahead and end the episode here. This will be just a pure prep episode. And then next episode is when the Hordes will officially start. If you like this episode, make sure to like, favorite, share, and subscribe. And tomorrow, the challenge begins properly. See you then, everyone.